Olá, boa noite. O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 7 de Syberia, o Mundo Antes. Vai até acabar ficando chato, mas de novo tenho que começar com um protesto oficial do canal. E desta vez, contra eu mesmo, por ser tão burro e teimoso. Eu tinha visto nos objetivos, apesar de ser um objetivo secundário, que deveria conversar com o reitor da academia antes da Kate Walker tocar o piano. Só não consegui fazê-lo porque deixei de tocar a campainha que tinha para chamar o reitor, apesar da Bá ter me alertado para isso. Depois, quando eu digo que a minha filha é um gênio, ela minimiza, e também faz pouco de mim, dizendo que simplesmente presta atenção e usa inteligência e sentido lógico. Eu até preciso tentar começar a usar a técnica envolvendo esses três aspectos. Então, o filme da conversa de Kate Walker com o reitor, eu vou passar agora do vídeo que extraí do site do YouTube, SPAD. Mas antes, vamos ver o título que um outro canal do YouTube, o Epifania Gamer, deu para esse mesmo capítulo e ver se a Bá por acaso tem a resposta. Syberia 4. Será que temos uma ligação? Vamos ver então a conversa de Kate Walker com o reitor na academia.
Excuse me. Hello?
Now what?
I see you're not a fan of modernizing the square.
Oh, the council, in its great wisdom, deemed it outdated and unpredictable for the musical automatons to be triggered by the best student in the academy, or a soloist, or a virtuoso visiting Wagen. Not to mention buskers, they certainly don't attract any tourists. No, what they thought was they would electrify and computerize the activation of the mechanical concert. So it would happen on a schedule, like an attraction.
Did they do it?
Oh, the talks went on, but nothing was ever done. And so the square has basically been abandoned. And the mechanical automatons have fallen into disrepair.
There's just one problem. Even if I do manage to fix all the different parts of the mechanical orchestra, I still have to play the piano properly, and I haven't played piano since I left junior high. My mom bought me one when I was a kid, but it really wasn't my strong suit.
There's no need to worry. You don't need to be a virtuoso to activate the mechanism. The mechanical orchestra will come out if you play all the notes in the right order, regardless of the rhythm. You just need to know the basics of music reading.
Why is the academy going to close?
For the simple reason that we have no students. No students, no lessons. No lessons, no academy.
And why are there no students? That's not a stupid question.
Because the mayor has taken away our grant that enabled our institution to become famous the world over.
Why would he do that?
Oh, budget restrictions, apparently. So, no staff, no students.
No students, no lessons. I get it.
But, between you and me and this counter, I'd say that's all just a pretext to get us out of the building.
And why would anyone want to do that?
To make others rich, of course. Property developers who are going to slice our institution up into shops, apartments, and office spaces, just like they've done with all the other buildings around the musical square.
I'd better get going then.
Quite. Good luck with the mechanisms, Fraulein.
Só repetindo, o vídeo foi extraído do canal SPAD, do YouTube. Ontem, Kate Walker teve que consertar a orquestra automatizada e tocar ao piano o hino de Wagen, a mesma peça interpretada por Dana Rose em 1937 e que estava no medalhão caixinha de música da mãe, de Kate Walker. Ela fica sabendo, então, que tem ligação com Wagen e, em consequência, com Dana Rose, com quem ela tem as feições tão parecidas. Alguma ligação deve ter, afinal, tudo no mundo tem uma ligação. Paramos quando Kate Walker iria até a academia novamente, desta vez para cobrar do reitor as fichas, os controles, os registros de Dana Rose enquanto foi aluna da instituição.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your concert so much. Now I can retire fulfilled.
Glad to have been of service. I believe you have a file for me.
Of course, of course. Here it is. Dana Rose, just like you asked.
Thanks. At last! Dana's home address in 1937. A detached house, it seems. Number 20, Brücke del Nebel. The Bridge of Mists, huh?
Found what you were looking for?
I think so. Well, thank you. And goodbye.
No, thank you, Fraulein.
Tinha outros pontos para tocar ali no relatório? Tinha mais pontos, agora só tem um aqui.
20 Bridge of Mists. Dana's address in the 30s.
Será que era só isso? Ela não vai abrir para ler nem nada, os elogios, as críticas, o que ela precisava melhorar. Aqui, quando ela olhou esse muro, ela não olhou os buracos de balas aqui no muro, né?
Bullet holes. The brown shadow must have shot people dead here. How horrible.
Por que a homenagem foi feita naquele muro especificamente? Porque era o local de execuções por fuzilamento do Sombra da Morte contra os Wageranos. Casa antiga de Dana. Ponte da Névoa. Ponte das Brumas.
I say, this is a very unpleasant way of traveling, Kate Walker.
I know, Oscar. I promise I'll let you out as soon as possible, okay?
E põe a bruma nisso, ó. Um nevoeiro eterno.
Okay, Oscar. Now we have to find Dana's old house.
Do you recall the number, Kate Walker?
According to her registration form from the Music Academy, it was number 20.
Anotação no diário. Wagen, 30 de novembro de 2005. Querida Senhora Foster, pude chegar à Academia de Música de Wagen, graças à dica de Lene, a gerente do refúgio. Graças à dica que Lene, a gerente do refúgio, me deu. Os vários depoimentos que coletei confirmam que a senhorita Walker não perdeu o hábito de violar a lei quando lhe convém. Aparentemente, ela invadiu um café na praça musical e, ignorando a proibição municipal, ativou um dos músicos autômatos. Ativou todos. Violar uma lei só é bobagem. O mais interessante é que as vítimas concordaram unanimemente que a melodia tocada pelos autômatos provocou uma reação notável em Kate Walker. Investigando um pouco mais a fundo, agora tenho certeza de que essa melodia, conhecida como hino de Wagen, é a mesma tocada na caixa de música da falecida mãe de Kate Walker, aquela que você enviou para Kate na mina. Uma estranha coincidência, certo? Talvez, mas infelizmente eu não acredito em coincidências. Na minha opinião, segundo a frase daquela consagrada filósofa, tudo no mundo tem uma ligação. Kate Walker foi para a Ponte das Brumas em Wagen, onde ficava a casa de infância de Dana Rose. Essa é a mulher que ela está procurando. Devo ir até lá sem demora.
The bridge is exactly the same as it was back in the 1930s. Except that it's cleaner. It looks almost new, as if it had been renovated.
(22) vai ser aquela do lado dessa e eu vou deixar de examinar todas as outras pelo caminho.
Souvenirs here look more upmarket than the ones I've seen elsewhere. There's number 20. Dana's old house.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. On holiday in the region, Fräulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service.
I must say you have a beautiful shop, Frau Heigl.
Thank you, Fräulein. All our souvenirs are made for excellence, as we like to say here, all by local craftsmen. Were you looking for something in particular?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Rose. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No, my husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's vagrant community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Wagen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against Vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fraulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, and if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, there won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the roses.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fräulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fräulein, I have a customer.
Já
I
vai.
conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. By getting creative, I guess.
I conclude I can trust you on that score, Kate Walker?
Ai, ai. Bota fogo aqui na loja que enquanto ela tá cuidando de apagar o fogo, você sobe disfarçadamente lá.
If I could manage to draw Frau Heigl this way, I'd be able to get through the service door and to the staircase without her noticing. But how?
Não, ela vai ter que pegar alguma coisa para colocar aqui. Alguma coisa da própria loja. Algum outro ponto que dê ação aqui. Lembrancinha local.
Made in Vagen.
Mas se ela só olha, não pega, como é que ela vai colocar lá? Ela vai ter que ir em alguma loja vagabunda que a mulher falou que tem aí na rua e comprar alguma coisa e colocar lá para a mulher se assustar e ir tirar. Já que ela cuida tanto da qualidade dos objetos que vende. Ou pelo menos seria isso que eu tentaria antes de botar fogo no andar inferior.
A book about Vagen's history during the war. Maybe it could be useful later.
Talvez possa ser útil mais tarde. Devia comprar então. Mas só tem observar. Naquele autômato ela não faz nada. Lembrancinha barata.
One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vagan.
Made in Hong Kong? In China?
Whoa! That's one shrill version of the Hymn of Vagan. One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vagan.
Toca o hino de Vagan, ou pelo menos tenta. Até o inventário dela é engraçadinho. Então é isso que ela vai colocar ali para chamar a atenção de Madame. Para olhar essa bobagem.
Looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council.
Cartaz de protesto. Convocando todos os moradores e varejistas de Vagan. Amor à Ponte das Brumas. Fora e dentro. Nós, signatários do Comitê de Bem-Estar da Ponte das Brumas, protestamos contra a política do Conselho de transformar Vagan em uma cidade-museu. Como estão fazendo isso? Concedendo financiamento público apenas para reformas exteriores, com o objetivo de atrair o maior número possível de lojas de baixo custo. Essa política injusta prejudica os proprietários, nossas excelentes lojas independentes e os artesãos e mulheres do distrito da Ponte das Brumas. Por que devemos todos nos importar? Porque os donos de propriedades do distrito da Ponte estão tendo que viver em condições insalubres, mesmo com os repetidos apelos ao Conselho para a criação de um programa de financiamento mais justo que cubra a renovação de interiores. Se permitirmos que o Conselho continue com sua política injusta, logo não haverá mais moradores no distrito da Ponte. Sobrarão apenas as lindas fachadas, carcaças vazias e lojas de lembrancinhas baratas. O que fazer em seguida? Para manter nosso espírito comunitário e as excelentes lojas independentes que vendem o verdadeiro artesanato de Vagan, solicitamos ao Conselho que crie com urgência um programa de financiamento de renovação de interiores que priorize os vagueranos. É importante lembrar que o único financiamento anterior para a renovação de interiores no distrito da Ponte ocorreu após a Segunda Guerra Mundial, sendo realizado às pressas após a destruição parcial da ponte durante a libertação de Vagan. Hoje, a grande maioria das propriedades da ponte são impróprias para a habitação humana. Junte-se ao nosso lobby pelo financiamento da renovação interior de nossos prédios históricos da ponte. Encontro no Conselho da Cidade, 10 horas de segunda-feira, 21 de novembro. Vamos manter nossa comunidade segura e nossa linda cidade viva. Comitê de Moradores e Varejistas Independentes da Ponte das Brumas. Reta Speicher, Rued Zeren, Angela Hegel é um nome alemão, né? Pronuncia Angela Hegel, Hans Rudolf Thoma, Franz Stocklin, Ulrich Hoffmann, Hanna Dubach. Para mais informações, entre em contato pelo e-mail infobridgesforms ou ligue para Angela Hegel em 0544. Será que a gente tem que anotar esse telefone também? Poderia também chamá-la no telefone e aproveitar para subir. Em vez de dar esse golpe baixo da lembrancinha barata. Sinto muito, dona moça, mas eu preciso subir.
What's that awful noise? Excuse me, sir. Oh, there it is. How awful. That certainly doesn't belong in my shop. We don't sell such cheap and tacky items.
Disfarçadamente. Ela tem andar disfarçado muito
Great.
engraçado.
I don't think Frau Heigel's noticed a thing.
Why don't you try to locate Diana Rose's room, Kate Walker? Then you can look for more clues about her.
Good idea. Let's just hope Frau Heigel won't come up.
A casa após o bombardeio. Maio de 1945.
This photo shows the house partially destroyed. Must have been taken after the bombing that preceded the liberation of Wagen. This is where Frau Heigel must take her breaks. In remembrance of the eternal bond between the Roses and the Zimmers. Signed, Adam Z.
Foto dos Rose e dos Zimmer. Mas só os casais.
It's dark in here. Hardly surprising with those windows boarded up. More stock for the shop.
Bem, se tem mais andares, não vai ser neste aqui.
Nothing of interest in here. A double bed, plenty of space. Must have been Dana's parents' bedroom. So where's Dana's room then? The number of rooms don't add up.
Ela ainda não foi no andar de cima.
Just what I needed.
Era isso que eu queria ouvir. Mas como que o quarto da Dana tá para baixo se só tem escada para cima? Os Rose.
A family portrait. That must be Dana with her parents.
Sua família, dona. Dona Moça. Dona Chica Boy. Dona Chiquita bacana lá da Martinica. Mas ela viu a foto aqui do lado, ela olhou para o chão. Quer dizer então que tem um outro quarto escondido ali embaixo. Que agora ela sabe que tem que procurar. Como que ela já sabia que o número de quartos não fechava se ela nem tinha vindo ainda? Aqui pra cima.
It's been bricked up. Most likely during the post-war renovation works Frau Heigl spoke of.
E agora ela vai ter que demolir essa parede para poder entrar. Não tinha nada para usar naquele buraco, né? Pra mandar o Oscar. Era só olhar. Pelo que eu lembro. É que eu não presto atenção, nem uso a inteligência, nem a lógica. Aqui no chão vai ter uma porta. Eu tinha clicado em olhar e ela foi lá para trás e não olhou nada. Ficou só atrás do armário. Agora eu cliquei de novo só por desencargo de consciência, como sempre diz aquela que jamais disse isso. Dana em seu quarto. É só encontrar aquele relógio que vai encontrar o...
The bedroom in the background of the portrait must be located in the attic. According to the light and the clock behind Dana, her room must face north.
O quarto fica no sótão e fica de frente para o norte. Como a gente não tem bússola nem nada, que diferença faz essa informação?
That's it, Oscar. I think I know where Dana's room is.
Enlighten me, Kate Walker.
Well, one of the photos shows a bedroom that's not on the second floor, right? And we know that the staircase was bricked up during the renovation and led to another floor. So that's got to be where we'll find Dana's missing bedroom.
It seems plausible, indeed.
It does. And if we're lucky, the room might be pretty much like Dana left it all those years ago, and potentially with clues to put us back on our track. I've just got to find a way to get to that third floor bedroom.
Seeing as you failed to create a positive bond with Frau Heigl, the next rational step would be to take a look outside the building, Kate Walker.
You're right, Oscar. Let's go and see.
Vê se tem alguma clarabóia para você passar escondido. A senhora tem alguma lembrancinha barata, hein?
I'm sorry I couldn't help you, Fraulein.
Tá desculpada. E ajudou bastante. Sem querer.
Oscar, I need your opinion on this.
Ah, that's better.
Looks like that fire escape staircase serves every floor of the house.
That is correct, Kate Walker. Perhaps you should find a way to use it.
Basta botar fogo no prédio. Olha só.
So what do you think, Oscar?
I think I would have liked a body with longer front legs.
I was talking about the window up there. Must be Dana's room, right?
Oh, of course. There is a high probability that you are not wrong, Kate Walker.
Aqui embaixo não acontece nada. Não, tem que observar.
Looks like the staircase serves every floor, including Dana's.
I conjecture that you are probably right, Kate Walker.
Well, we can't get to the staircase from the first floor windows. The second floor windows will be of no use to reach the staircase.
Indeed, Kate Walker, all the windows you could have used are obstructed.
The ladder to the first floor is up. It's too high for me to pull down. Looks like there's a mechanism up there to lower the ladder.
Ah, vai subir pela tubulação, claro.
That drain pipe leads to a ledge that leads to the staircase.
According to my calculations, the drain pipe will not hold you, Kate Walker. And even if you were lighter, the ledge is too narrow for you to stand on.
Hey, are you trying to tell me something, Oscar?
Yes, you are too heavy and too wide, Kate Walker, for the ledge.
Gee, thanks, Oscar.
Vai lá, gordona, que a gente tá quase chegando.
So basically, it's not going to be easy to use the staircase to get to Dana's room.
There is no other way. Access is denied from inside the first and second floors, and the third floor stairwell is bricked up. The fire escape staircase is the only possibility, Kate Walker. But you cannot climb up the drain pipe because of your weight and size.
I heard you the first time, thanks.
You are welcome, Kate Walker. So, the only way up is by the fire escape staircase, and that means lowering the ladder from the first floor.
Usar o cano de esgoto, Kate, entrar ou usar o cano de esgoto, Oscar?
Well, I don't have a choice. I'll just have to make myself thin and climb up the drain pipe.
An unwise choice, Kate Walker, if you don't mind me saying so. It is highly probable that the drain pipe will not hold your weight, and no matter how thin you make yourself, even if it did, the ledge is too narrow for you to reach the staircase.
We'll just have to go back inside and make it to the staircase through a window.
That is not possible, Kate Walker. As I clearly recall saying, the windows are obstructed.
Então só me sobrou uma alternativa. Sinto muito, seu moço.
Well, in that case, there's only one solution. As you're so light and slim, Oscar, you'll have to climb up the drain pipe and walk across the ledge for me. Then you just need to activate the mechanism to lower the steps so that heavy me can take the staircase route.
I was not made to climb up drain pipes, Kate Walker. I am a precision-made automaton.
Come on, Oscar. You saved the day more than once at Baranor. It must be second nature by now.
But how can I lower myself to scurrying like a rat?
Because you're a fine fellow and my faithful friend?
Kate Walker, help! I believe I am stuck here.
Stay calm, Oscar. I'm coming.
Climbing like a common squirrel. This is a disgrace.
Everything okay up there?
Yes, Kate Walker. I just need to... Ah!
Hang on tight, Oscar.
Oh, I am Kate Walker. Believe me, I am.
You gotta jump now, Oscar. Hurry! Well done, Oscar. Glad that you're safe and sound.
I guess that's one way of putting it, Kate Walker.
I'm also glad you haven't lost your positive attitude.
Phew. That useless body. Now I must find another way. And climbing up all over again.
Be careful there, Oscar.
Oh dear, that can't be good. Oh dear. Now, Miss Pigeon. Madam Pigeon then, I beg your pardon. Now, Madam Pigeon, would you be so kind as to make way? I guess I'm going to need help here. Kate Walker, I'm going to need you again.
Suba aqui para espantar a pomba.
How am I supposed to get rid of that pigeon?
Vai jogar essa pedra aí, vai machucar.
I can't throw it at the pigeon, but maybe I can use it some other way.
Made our point, I guess. Now, maybe this body will be useful in the end.
Locked, of course.
Cadê a pedra?
Kate Walker, if I were meant to be used as a cannonball, I would have been given a fuse. This is highly irregular.
Tuck your head in, Oscar. 1,
If Hans Borrelberg could see me now,
2,
how...
3.
Undignified! Oh my. Oh my. Really? Is this any way to treat an intelligent automaton? if Mr. Vorarlberg could see me now...
He would say, "You've saved the day again, Oscar. You've exceeded all expectations by far."
E volta pra bolsa aí pra parar de reclamar.
Okay, let's try and find out what became of Dana after she left the refuge. No doubt about it. This must have been Dana's room.
Mas ela não quer olhar nada, não quer mexer em nada, abrir os armários. Diploma.
It's from the Music Academy. Music symbols, but they don't seem related to the diploma.
Isso vai ser algum código de alguma coisa.
It's from the Music Academy.
Estão aqui as notas musicais. Mas não tinha 5 ali, tinha?
That's not it. I should search for more clues in the room.
Já que ela está 3 horas falando que é melhor ir para Roma.
There's something underneath. Can't reach it. Can't be that heavy.
Esboço estranho, lado esquerdo. Agora que penso nisso, influência sobre mim, agora, como ela sugeriu. E esse não gira.
The room was ransacked and pillaged. During a pogrom of the Brown Shadow, I guess. God, I hope Dana was away that day. That's better.
Agora que penso nisso, Yunta tinha mais influência sobre mim do que eu imaginava. Agora escrevo lembretes para mim, como ela sugeriu. Pois é, ela escreveu o lembrete para a combinação do cadeado, mas é falso.
The wheels on the lock seem to have different heights. I wonder why.
Como eu tenho o desenho junto com a combinação, tenho o desenho do quê? Então é para ficar um pedaço aberto aqui na frente, do lado do amarelo, e daí um pedaço aberto atrás na mesma direção.
The padlock on the chest is very special.
Its shape reminds me of the silhouette drawn on the papers that you found, Kate Walker.
Boa! Me disse o que a gente já sabia. São os dois últimos símbolos que têm o mesmo em diferentes partes.
It's blocking it. Thing's stuck.
Tudo isso para pegar um ursinho velho e uma coruja mecânica.
This was written not long after her time at the refuge. A letter from Leon. So he did write back to Dana after the expedition left Kantar, the capital of Baltayar. The High Plateau of Baltayar, October 25th, 1937. My darling Edelweiss.
I hate myself for not sending you news more often, and for not being able to receive news of you. I find myself now where probably no other modern-day human has ever ventured before. I regret to inform you that I won't be able to go back to Europe with my fellow survivors.
Montanhas de Baltayar, outono de 1937.
Something bad happened during the expedition. I, no doubt, am partly to blame. Nevertheless, I would like you to know my version of the events. After hard days of hiking, we set up our base camp on the threshold of a high valley where rhododendrons grew. All the witnesses seemed to concur. This was where the Gorun, the famous man of the mountains, was most frequently sighted. For many long weeks, we explored without success every valley and mountain surrounding the camp. Autumn was approaching, the rivers started to freeze at the edges, and the prospect of having to head back with nothing for our toil was becoming more and more apparent. The joyful banter of the first weeks was no more. The men were becoming moody and tense. Especially our chief, Reinhard Berger. Up we get, Leon. Another day on a wild goose chase. I'd better get kitted up before going out.
Então hoje vamos ficando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.